Hey folks, hope everybody enjoyed the long weekend. There was plenty of MLS action to get to. Welcome to Weekend Wrap. Jonah Friedman here with armchair analyst Matt Doyle. And let's get right to it, looking back on our three top games of the weekend. And we'll start with a barn burner at Livestrong Sporting Park.
Yeah, the barn, I guess, was on fire for this one for the last 10 minutes of the game. Sporting came out, controlled it from minute one. Ryan Johnson gets a late goal in the first half, and then Sporting just pushed forward in search of the equalizer. Now, they get that on a bizarre goal where Paulo Nagamura drives the ball into the ground 18 yards from goal and lobs Freddie Hall. 1-1. And then just a couple of minutes before time, they get the second after a nice build-up. Oriol Rosel's shot right at Freddie Hall, and he just sort of falls down and watches as the ball trickles through his finger. It was a type of break that winning teams seem to find one way or another. For Toronto FC, it's just another nail in their coffin for this season. Paul Mariner's done a lot of things right since he's took over. Freddie Hall's not one of them. And number two on our list, of course, after Sporting won that game against Toronto, they tied San Jose in the Supporters' Shield race. Would they come out of the weekend tied atop the Supporters' Shield race?
And that's exactly what Frank Yallop told the team coming out of the gates. We know Kansas City won. We know we have to keep pace if we want to win this Shield. And they put on a pretty decent offensive display for a team that has only scored 2 free kick goals all season. They found a new way to score goals. They scored 3 free kick goals in this game, 2 by Ramiro Corrales, 1 off an awesome 30-yard laser by Victor Bernardez. And what more can you say? This team is on pace to average 2 goals a game. No team has done that for 11 years, and they look like they're going to do it no problem. They shatter the franchise record for goals scored in the season. They've got 56. That tops the Clash in '97, and 12 different players have scored for San Jose this season, and that goes even more when you consider that Chris Wondolowski has not found the net in open play in 7 games. They're just getting it done. They're scoring everywhere. And for Chivas, what more can you say? There have been so many problems off the field with the ownership change in the last week, and they admitted this has been a distraction. And perhaps the most emblematic display in this game of their frustration is Juan Agudelo getting a breakaway and John Bush coming out to make the save, and almost looked like he touched it, came out of the box, probably touched it, probably should have been a penalty kick. But them's the breaks. Chivas just keep losing, San Jose just keep winning. Number 1, would you believe the hottest team in the league, the Columbus Crew, facing the Montreal Impact, another hot team?
There's a Federico Higuain for MVP movement starting on Twitter, and you could see why after this week. Midweek, of course, provides 2 assists, the second one a legendary one in the win over Philadelphia. And then they had the big game against the Montreal Impact, who came in as the hottest team in the league. Impact take a 1-goal lead, and then in the last 10 minutes, Higuain does his thing, brings the Crew back, gets the game-winning assist 3 minutes into stoppage on a great header from Emilio Rentero. It defies belief at this point. It really does. And the Crew are now solidly in the playoff hunt, 5th place. They have games in hand. They have the best form in the league. There's no reason to think they can't keep this up. For Montreal, a little bit of a worry, especially with their central defense. Alessandro Nesta was gassed after 70 minutes. Probably should have come out of the game. I don't know why they didn't make that change. And then Nelson Rivas, back after his 3-game suspension, burned on both goals. And they don't have games in hand. They needed to get at least a draw out of that one. It's going to be a struggle now for the Impact to stay in the race.
Taking a look at some of our top performers of the week, Federico Higuain showing why he is deserving a back-to-back Player of the Week award. 4 assists to add to that total. Nick Rimando snapping a long winless streak for Real Salt Lake, and Ramiro Corrales with 2 goals in that win over Chivas.
Corrales, the first goal was just a brilliant free kick, and nobody could have saved it, though you kind of wonder about the Chivas wall coming apart a little bit there. The second one, he was just being clever, and he outfoxed Dan Kennedy, who didn't ask for 10 yards. Therefore, Mark Geiger gave quick whistle and said, go ahead, take the free kick. For Higuain, we talked about it, he's just been a magician since he got there. He doesn't need a lot of room to make a play. That sets him apart. As for Rimando, it was a really good classic Nick Rimando performance. His 97th career shutout. In RSL, they're hoping he gets 100 before the end of the year because they're not scoring goals right now. He kept them in that game for a good long while.
Some honorable mentions here for some really good goalkeeping performances despite their teams not getting wins. Matt Pickens, very good for Colorado. Michael Geschperning, very good for Seattle. And let's not forget Dwayne De Rosario, the 7th player in MLS history to reach 100 career goals.
We could also throw a bone to Bright Dike. He's helped turn the Portland season around, and suddenly they're kind of sneaking into the playoff hunt. Just a little bit of hope up there in Rush City.
Take a quick look at the standings out east. It's still Sporting, Kansas City, and New York 1 and 2. But look down at the rest of the conference and things are really moving. Chicago jumped into 3rd place with their win over Houston. Houston now in 4th, and Columbus in that 5th spot, tied with Houston with 42 points. DC now out of the playoff picture. Montreal still hanging in there with 39 points. Out west, San Jose, like we said, keeping pace in that Supporter Shield race with 53 points. In second, Real Salt Lake back in position with 46. Seattle and LA right behind with 44 and 43 respectively. Vancouver, they are still in 5th place despite losing 5 of their last 6 games. And Dallas still within striking distance. It's going to be tough for them, but they can do it with 33. That'll do it for us. Make sure you check back on Thursday for a special Thursday edition of Last Call.
Happy hour.
Happy hour, yeah. We'll be looking ahead to World Cup qualifying. Enjoy the games.